So at the end of the last video, we found the p-value using both Excel and StatCrunch, and now we have to make a decision. But the answer is going to be pretty much what it was before. We're still going to reject H0, but we're going to do it for different reasons. So in the classical method, you reject it because it's far away from the rest. But here we're going to reject it because the p-value, which is 0.0000058, is less than alpha, which was 0.05, the level of significance. Okay. So all we got left is step 6. There is sufficient evidence to support the claim that there's a large difference between cell phone and non-cell phone times. Right there. How is this? There is a significant difference between for driving while performing a task or whatever it was. Not very good English, but between cell phone, yeah, good enough. Okay, so now that leads us to the other thing we can do, which is we can create confidence intervals for the same thing. Because if you can create tests for it, you can make confidence intervals for it. Now, the confidence intervals for these are kind of simple because they're very similar to the ones we did in chapter 9. Namely, you take your d bar and you subtract away t alpha over 2 times s d over the square root of n, and you add it on and you're done. And the interval is exact when the population is normally distributed and approximately correct for non-normal populations, provided that n is large enough. So we're going to make construct and interpret a 95% confidence interval for that mean. And we could do it a couple ways. Let me do it here in Excel. Let's see, lower bound. Yeah, I'll put it C interval. That way it's labeled. The confidence interval, lower bound, upper bound. Okay, according to that formula, you just take your d bar minus z. Oh, well, that's the problem. Well, we got to find z first. I'll do it right here. Z alpha. No, t alpha over 2. Wait a second. We did find it. I'm losing my mind. It's right here, right? Isn't that what we found? Right? Because this uses alpha over 2. I mean, technically, the formula uses alpha, but that's because it knows that it's supposed to be alpha over 2. So we've got it. I'm just losing my mind. All right, start again. It's d bar. Take away that 2.039 times SD divided by square root of n. There we go. And the other one is d bar plus that 2.039 times SD divided by square root of n. Pick the positive one for the t alpha over 2. That way it'll work out right. You don't want to pick the negative one because then that'll flip-flop them. All right, so there's your confidence interval all done. That said, it's also super simple in StatCrunch. So let's look at it there. So stat, you're going to T statistics, paired data. We already said this. Say yes for that one, no for that one. Next, we're going to make a confidence interval, 95%. Calculate. There you go. Look, 31.7, 69.5, just like Excel said. It's pathetic, isn't it? It is so simple in StatCrunch. Copy. And I'll put it over here and I will paste it. And what does this mean? It means we are 95% confident that the difference in driving times for cell phone and non-cell phone users is between 31.7 and 69.5 seconds. There we go. We're done.